All right, guys, welcome back to Let Me Tell You Something with myself, Jermaine, Jenas, and Derek Chisora. Before we introduce our special guest for the day, I want to introduce you to someone who's behind the camera. Producer Natalie is in the background. You might hear her voice every now and again. She brings up the dilemmas towards the end of the show, which are always a lot of fun. But they do get a little bit lively as well. So she kind of plays referee between me and Derek because we quite often have opposing views on these dilemmas. So they're loads of fun. Also, if you can, follow us on Instagram, LMTYS Official. So make sure you go and follow that. If you're wherever you're getting your podcasts, or if you're on YouTube as well, make sure you hit that subscribe button. All of your support is massively, massively appreciated. Right. So that's it. Let's intro our guest who's going to be talking us through his wins, his losses, his lessons, and his legacy. A very, very good friend of mine, absolute baller, Premier League legend, Joe Cole.
Hey!
Come on, how are you, brother? Thanks for coming on the show, mate. Thanks for coming on the show. It's massively appreciated. I know you're a big boxing fan as well. You were one of the first people I hit up because I was like, I'm doing this with Derek. You know, let's give Derek some love. It's not always about just football and sport, but you've been around the game for years.
Love.
Yeah.
No, every now and again, it's nice to give you a bit of love.
Yeah, no, I've seen Derek fight. I must be 3 or 4 times at least.
Really?
Do you know what it is? I've always loved boxing. We've got some mutual friends. Because I'm from Camden. Do you remember Martin Power?
Yeah, Martin Power,
So
yeah.
me and Martin, we went to school together. And I used to go into the gym in St Pancras as a kid. My dad took me into the gym when I was having a bit of trouble. And it's like, and I went in there and I just thought, you know, like you walk into the gym and you either think, yeah, this is for me or this ain't for me.
Yeah.
This ain't for me. I walked straight out and went on I went straight onto the pitch afterwards. But me and Martin were friends. Martin was a good footballer. So Jim McDonnell as well.
Yeah.
So he's married to my cousin. So boxing was always, I went to watch all Martin's fights. And so I've always loved it. But listen.
And you've dipped your toe in as well.
big man.
Yeah, you've dipped your toe into the ring every now and again as well, which we'll get into if you want.
We'll get into, that was scary, man. So basically, just when I finished playing, I love boxing. So let me try and do this for keep fit. Loved it. Then all of a sudden you start body sparring.
Yeah.
And then you think, this is really fun. Then I had a little spar. Is there any shows? I said to Noel from Buckhurst Still. I said, let's do some shows. He put shows on at You're Cool. So Noel arranged for me and my 2 buddies against another gym and 3 guys, and it was about 150 people in the gym. In the gym.
Yeah.
Mate, the scariest thing I've ever done in my life, right? Not only that, right, because Noel, bless him, I love him, he does great work for the community. One thing I said, make sure there's a doctor there. Do you know what I mean? I was like, it needs to be proper.
Yeah, of course.
And he said, as I walked into the gym, he went, listen, the doctor's not answering the phone.
That's not what you need to hear, is it?
So I'm like, all right, okay, all right. And I thought, I've told it, all my mates are there. I've got about 30, 40 of my mates ready to come. I can't say no. So that's made me scared. So I got all these emotions coming. I'm thinking, the doctor's not here. I can see the kid I'm fighting. He's about 10 years younger than me. And then he's recognised me. For him, he's recognised, big West Ham fan. He's recognised me. He's like, that must mess with his head. Anyway, imagine that. So anyway, I've gone to Noel. I swear I went, no, just wait there 1 second. I'm just going to make a phone call. Right? I walked out the gym in Queen's Road and looked at it. And the tube station's down the bottom of the road. Right? And I'm thinking, I could bail here and just say something's happened. I don't know. The alarm's going off at home or something. Mate, I thought, no, don't be a pussy, right? Don't be a pussy, right? And you know what your mates are like?
Of course.
They're like,
on you.
Listen, I'd like you to win, but if you got knocked out, it'll be good banter. Do you know what I mean?
The group chat would be fire.
Imagine that.
The memes.
The footage, the memes for years, right? So anyway, gone in, right, head guard, quite big gloves, not like what these boys do, but JJ, I promise you, right, the most scared I've ever been in my life. And I'm thinking, no matter how much sparring I've done,
this is different.
This is a fight, right? So I'm like, fucking hell. It's on my Instagram. So I did it, right? 2.5 minute rounds. Anyway, I won the fight. First 2 rounds, I won the fight. 3rd round, man was hanging on. I was like that. I tried mate, and when I finished, the elation. So I don't know what these guys must feel,
mad.
But how I felt afterwards,
Yeah.
I was on fire for about 2 days.
Amazing.
Yeah, and then I just retired undefeated
Because even
into the night.
When
you're around the pub with your mates,
One and done.
the pub with your mates, right? Yeah. And boxing comes up, and I just go, yeah, it's like people like myself, Marciano, Mayweather, Calzaghe. We don't taste defeat. Yeah, I think with boxing, like you bare your soul.
That's what it is, isn't it?
With football, you don't really bare your soul.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
You
You go
don't.
out there, you compete, and you leave everything on there, but they have to go to a layer underneath
Yeah.
what football have to go to. And I think the problem with football is, and we can vouch for this, every man, woman, and dog thinks they can do it better than you because it's the people's game.
Yeah.
It's like say your mate's a plumber, for instance, and you something's wrong with your toilet, and he comes around and you open up the toilet and he goes, right, you need to do that. You're not going to go, no. What do you know? But when you sit around the pub with your mates talking about football,
true.
no matter how many games you've played for England, what you've won, you're wrong.
It's
They're
so
like,
true.
you're wrong. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, football
it's so
does that
true.
to people. But I think even
Everybody knows how to coach.
yeah. But boxing, no matter how much bravado you've got, you can't stand next to a fighter and like after you just fight 12 rounds, go, mate, listen, should have dug in a bit more there. Thrown a bit of I don't think even men, as arrogant as we can be,
It's true.
we can't go that
Should have
far.
dug in a
But
bit more.
with football, it's just that nice level. Everyone thinks they can do it and they know better, and that's just how it is.
Right, the football, Joe. The I want to, West Ham, man. That was like obviously a huge part of your life. Any kind of like mad football fans will know that FA Youth Cup game against Coventry, wasn't it? Back in the day, I think Carrick was in that team as well. Izzy, Eric Penn. You had a proper team at that time. I mean, you must have loved your time at West Ham.
Yeah, I mean, everyone loves West Ham, right?
Do they?
No, wait, no.
I like West Ham.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
here
right,
we go,
right,
yeah.
no, what I mean by that is, JJ, everyone who's played for West Ham,
Yeah, of
because
course.
like whether they played for 6 months or 6 years, they love it, right?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you a story. My boy was on trial at Brentford at the weekend, right? He's been on trial. He played in a tournament with West Ham, and all of the teams, when they wasn't playing, they went in the arena to like chill because it was quite hot. So you had Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, all of them. West Ham were there, right?
Yeah.
So we're driving home on the way home, and I said, "What was that like in there with all the other teams in there at the same time?" He said, "Dad, you know what? West Ham were very unprofessional." I went, under 12s, right? And I was like, "What do you mean?" He went, "No, they weren't listening to the coach. They were like messing about. They ordered pizza." And I went, "Yeah, that's what we do at West Ham."
Yeah,
JJ."
yeah,
But
yeah.
I said, "This club have produced so many players, right? So there must be something in what they do, that area of London or something which produces players." I could have gone anywhere in the country. I signed for West Ham because when I walked into the door, it felt like a family club. Like I walked in with my mum and dad. You go on trial.
Yeah.
And it's like, there was someone there to greet me, walk me in, introduce me to everyone, made sure my mum and dad had a cup of
Big
tea.
difference.
And it wasn't just because it was me, it was every parent sat down and the lady come over and, and then I saw like the first team walking past. It was wild. And I thought, I went and trained and it wasn't like structured. It was play and energy. And I was like, just as soon as I walked in, this is the place for me.
Yeah.
Right. And then obviously Rio and Frank were a couple of years older than me. Years go by, all the best players in London started to go there. So we started smashing teams in youth football.
Yeah.
And like Harry would give you a chance.
That's the big
Do
thing.
you know what I mean?
innit, as a kid?
And so all of them things, I absolutely love my time at West Ham.
Yeah.
Like I was a Chelsea fan as a kid. That's well documented. But
Enjoyed it.
I could have gone to Chelsea when I was a kid, but it didn't have what West Ham had this vibe. And I walked in and it just felt like home.
I look at academies today. I always picture them as like universities.
Yeah.
And, where are you as a footballer going to go and get your best education?
Yeah.
That's what they are. And, West Ham is like a Harvard,
yeah.
or a Brown or a Princeton. It's one of those big, even though like, as a football club in the Premier League, they're a very well-respected club, but they're not a Chelsea or a United or a Liverpool. But as an education for a kid at that particular time, because of, what they're bringing through, you see Joe Cole, Glenn Johnson, Michael Carrick, Jermaine Defoe, all these names coming out of this place, you're like, I need to go
They all
there.
came from West Ham.
All of them come from West Ham Academy.
But do you know what it was, Del? Like it wasn't, and it was because I'm the youth development officer who put the people. It was the people. The facilities were rubbish.
Yeah.
Like things were falling off the wall. There was nothing there. But everybody that worked in that building had a really good connection with the kids, knew how to educate, like just teach. Everyone looked, it was happy. They're called Happy Hammers, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So you go into, I never once went into that building and thought, I don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And it was the people rather than, so whoever was in charge at the time, I don't know what they'd done. It was a touch of genius, but I think it was employing the right people to do the job.
Yeah. Who in that dressing room at the time massively impressed you? And who was the other one that probably were trying to kill you because you were going to take their place?
No, do you know what, right? So, good question, Geese. I come through and I can't. The senior players were so good with me.
Was Piercy there when you were there?
Piercy was there.
Yeah.
Piercy kept himself to himself.
Yeah, he's
right?
quiet,
Piercy
yeah.
was very quiet, like very structured with everything he'd done.
Stuart Pearce.
Stuart Pearce, right? Johnny Monco was brilliant with me.
Yeah.
Like I had Neil Ruddock. Like so, my introduction to
Mad.
Neil Ruddock, John Monco,
Old school.
Trevor Sinclair.
Yeah.
It was like what it was so I got introduced at 17 straight into the world of football, and it was the old school world. Like there was like nights out. My first night out with Razor in Soho was wild. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can imagine.
It wasn't none of these like protein shakes and things like that there is now. It was just I was mixing with men at 17. Do you know what I mean? So there was no one there who wasn't good with me actually.
Yeah.
I was lucky. I've heard some horror stories.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
But
Everyone was good. The relegation was tough.
yes.
It's a tough year, wasn't it, the relegation for you lot? Because you are probably still the best team with the most points.
42 points,
to ever
yeah.
get relegated out of the Premier League. Yeah, I mean, they had a top team, but sometimes the league's just like, I mean, you look at the league this year, I mean, it's hard to get relegated this year because the teams are that bad.
Are trying, isn't
yeah, the teams are that bad. Spurs, yeah, the teams are that bad. But at the same time, like yours was, I mean, what was that year like, and how difficult was that for you as a West Ham boy coming through?
So we finished 7th the year before. Very much West Ham. My first year we finished 5th. Then we finished, which is one of the highest their clubs ever finished. Then it was 13th. Then it was 9th. Then it was 7th. Then it was relegated. So it was like
everywhere.
So we was all over the place. Like we had, which summed us up as a team. We had great players who could win. We went to Manchester United 2 years in a row and won and then we would lose at home to like Sheffield Wednesday 4-0 or something. It was just mad. And then so that season in particular, I went to speak to people in charge at the start of the season. Right, we're 7th now. I'm 21. I want to sign a new contract, but like, where are we as a club? Like, are we going to bring players in to help us to go 7th to 4th? And like, you know, because I've seen Rio leave, I've seen Frank leave, and we still finished 7th. Yeah, no money got invested. We got a couple of free transfers in, and then I got about halfway through the season, and we're struggling because there was a lot of young players. I was 21 and I was captain.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Wow.
And I'm like, a couple of senior players got injured, a few weren't really, you know what it's like, JJ, when a couple of them are not at it. And I'm 21, I didn't have the wherewithal to like, I thought I was performing on the pitch, but I needed to be everything to everyone, and I wasn't mature enough to do it. And so anyway, we fought right to the end, like you said, 42 points. But when we got relegated, as a 21-year-old captain of the club, and I know that like people would lose their jobs. Yeah. Mate, heartbreaking. Like I didn't want to leave the house. I didn't honestly, like, I literally locked myself away for about a week. Like, you know, like even just going to the shop, like you don't even realise it. It wasn't depression or it wasn't anything like that. Do you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't use them words to describe it, but I felt such a weight of responsibility. And I had a year left on my contract. The club then needed to sell me. Yeah. And it was just, that was a low moment. And then you question everything, you know, because how can I get relegated?
No,
like, you know what I mean? It's like, what's going on here?
Yeah, definitely.
And you start, football clubs are it's a very nervous place, isn't it? If you play a club like West Ham, and you was a QPR, right?
Yeah.
So when they went down, like,
half a season.
3 months.
It's not on the season.
Yeah. So 3 months like leading up before relegation, you start hearing whispers and feeling worried and that. And then you take that on you. I'm like, but then it gives you something more. That season we got relegated, JJ, one of me personally, performance-wise, is one of my best years of my career, because I just felt like I wanted to take every game on the scruff. I was playing centre mid. I was trying to do everything for everyone. And I wasn't that type of player, but I felt possessed. Like, do you know what I mean? And then to get so close, 42 points, and not get there.
Yeah.
Just like,
I remember when I went to Spurs, right, and Defoe pulled me straight away, right? Came up to me and he went, "You sent us down, at West Ham." And I was like, "What?" And he was like, "That goal you scored against us."
yeah.
Oh, wow.
And that was my first goal I ever scored in the Premier League.
I remember,
the
yeah.
volley past David James, and he was like, "That killed us."
Yeah.
And I was
shit.
like, "Geez, like, I mean,
Yeah.
you don't realise
Mate.
like the impact of these moments in football."
Yeah.
But, like,
So basically, it was your reason why
No.
everybody got fired.
no, it wasn't.
Jermaine's fault.
So if you're watching this, that's your guy there.
West Ham fans are not. I don't think I'm their biggest cup of tea anyway. Being a Spurs player, so like let's just like knock it on. Chelsea come calling.
Yeah.
And you're under one of the absolute greats.
Yeah.
Was you there with Ranieri first?
I was there with Ranieri for a year.
Yeah, but then Jose arrives. I mean, Chelsea was like a juggernaut at that point, wasn't it? I remember seeing like you arrived, Glenn Johnson arrived. There's all Duff, all these players, Iron Robin, and it was like, Chelsea are coming. It was like what City basically have done. Number one, what was that like, obviously, but the Mourinho one is what I really want to know. Like, what was he like?
So we had the year before he came, JJ. People think like, and people think right, he came and then Magic Wand changed everything. The year he came, my first year at Chelsea, we finished second, got to the semi-final of the Champions League.
Yeah.
So we was a good team.
Yeah, you're flying.
We just needed that little cherry on the top. And then when he came through the building, like, and you don't know what you need, right?
Yeah.
But as soon as he started training and the way he did things, you're like, that's what we need. He had this swagger about him, right?
Yeah.
And because of all the money that was coming in from Roman and the investment, it felt like we were like the party poopers. Like, nobody wanted us there.
No, it was like Arsenal, Man U won it at the time.
Arsenal, Man United, Liverpool were the big clubs.
yeah.
They were- like Chelsea, no, you're down there.
Yeah, of course.
And we just kept buying players. And then we felt that hatred everywhere we went. And Jose helped us buy into that.
Gotcha.
Do you know what I mean? Like, so we sort of like, we very much
As against
knew
them,
we
like-
was like, we used to like, we were a horrible bunch anyway,
Yeah.
of like, in terms of like,
the group.
the group, like we could win games, we could out football you, or we could, when it got nasty, I'll tell you what game was on. We played Blackburn that season, right? That was a horrible team.
Yeah, it was,
Sav and it was like we won 1-0. It was, I don't know when it was, but it was just a fight. It was if the ref had forgotten his whistle. It was like it was like Arjen Robben got a bad injury in that game, right? It was like the ref's gone, right, put that away. We're going to do prison rules today. Everyone just was like crashing into each other. You know, like one of them where you're like getting smashed.
Yeah.
And you're like, where's the ref?
going
The
on?
ref was going,
Yeah, play on.
and it made for a classic game.
Great games.
But like, there were some games like that in that era in
Yeah,
the
there
Premier
were.
League. And if you played Arsenal like that, do you remember that Arsenal team?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
like,
they were
They were
solid,
gone.
like, yeah,
They
yeah,
got.
yeah. Oh, no, that one, yeah, sorry, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Stoke, like,
Yeah,
say
they
Stoke
would
did it, or
melt,
Blackburn did it, or whoever was.
Yeah.
But they couldn't cope
They'd
with
go
it.
over, yeah.
But what we did, we could roll up our sleeves and do that side of the game
Yeah,
as
you
well.
had some
like,
players, yeah.
So like, and then when we won, like a 1-0 away league game in Blackburn, Jose sensed that was a big. Well, we didn't realise on the pitch, and he come out and he made a big deal of celebrating. We celebrated like we won the league. Yeah. But I think what he gave us was that he gave us that belief and that togetherness, and like there's not like, and I think from that moment on, we felt we couldn't get beat by anyone.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah,
I love
it was
that.
it was Jose, and Jose was a genius.
Yeah. Is that story about him hiding in the what's it called?
Yeah.
The kit things. What are they called again? The trolleys,
the trolley,
basically.
kit trolley,
Yeah, the
yeah.
kit trolley. So before, like, we're talking about the kit men earlier and the people that, whose jobs are on the line or whatever. So when you get to games, they have these like big trolleys. You have them at boxing as well. Yeah, big silver things. All the kit goes in there, kit, boots or whatever. And yeah, so Jose had been banned, no?
He was suspended because he'd said something he shouldn't have done, I think, from the first leg.
Yeah. So if he's suspended, he's not allowed, basically. What was he not allowed in the
He's not allowed in the stadium.
Not allowed in the stadium.
Not allowed in the
something like that.
stadium. Got a ban from UEFA, and we thought, right, well, the assistant manager's going to be, doing the tactics, being on the sideline. All of a sudden, it's like you knew something different was happening because the security guards were wheeling in this skip like. You know what I mean? Usually they've got a couple of old socks in it, like they're pushing it in, right? So and then he's gone into the side, and then he just appeared from the he's just appeared out of this thing, and it was like the lads just go, whoa. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Unbelievable.
He's out and he's like,
What a legend.
so he's like, and he's coming in, and then we just felt, like when you're a naughty school kid, you're like,
Yeah.
and you're breaking the rules, and you're thinking, there's no way we're losing this game.
Yeah,
now.
yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Moment.
It was against Bayern Munich. That was it. It was against Bayern Munich, right? And then we felt like we knew he was being naughty. The gaffer knew he was being naughty. It suited our personality as a team. We liked that as well. And he done his normal. He'd never done anything different or unusual. Named the team. This is what we're gonna do. Blah blah blah. We gone out there. I scored after about 4 minutes against Bayern Munich. We was like, we won the game 4-1 at home. Like the tire was dead. We were flying, right? Yeah. And then he's come back in. The security guards are at the door because no one from UEFA can look in and see him. We're nabbed, right? So they're there, right? So we like getting in, like the security guards are like that, getting in the door, celebrating in the dressing room. But then he's got to get back into the thing, right? To get wheeled out, right? But I think by this time, you know what it's like, Chinese whispers, you know, people start thinking, is he in there? Is he not in there, right? So then, but apparently I haven't asked him, but he didn't like the experience of being in the thing, right?
Of course.
Couldn't, you know, imagine being stuck in there. You're locked in like a tomb, right?
Yeah.
So he's going, I'm not getting back in. But the security guards are going, you have to get back in because if you get caught, we might get thrown out of this. Yeah. So apparently they just folded him up, put him in, and wheeled him out so we wouldn't get caught.
Wow.
But what people don't realise, the second leg, right? It's the English press, right? There's rumours that he's done it and all that. We're getting asked questions and we're going, no, what are you talking about, mate? Like, no comment and all that. And then we're playing Bayern Munich away. Yeah. But I'm thinking, he's not going to pull this stunt again. He's not going to do it again the second leg. It's in the old stadium. So we're getting ready and I'm just thinking, all I can think of, where's he coming from? He's going to pop up from somewhere. Like, there's going to be something he's done. And gets in it anyway. Nothing happens. He doesn't pop up, right? We're just about to go out. And remember, this is 2004-5, right? So it ain't technology like it is now. So it's the first time I've ever seen a speaker just appeared on the middle of... one of the coaches put a speaker down. And I'd never seen anything like this before. Like
Bluetooth and all that. None of that was existing. Yeah.
Right, and then he just started doing a team talk out of his feet.
Wow.
Jeez.
So like the lads are like... No, sorry, before that, one of the coaches, because it was an old stadium, was going round. Do you remember with a tape?
Yeah.
This is the level of paranoia. So there was like a little hole in the wall, like it was like covering the hole up. I'm thinking, what are they doing? So anyway, he does this team talk, but we're all like, this is how much we was engaged in what he was saying. It was like this speaker was talking, and you could have been looking over there, but everyone was just looking at the speaker like that, and he was going, Joe, you need to do this. Da, 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 da. Anyway, we won the game and got through. And I think it's all out in the opening. Well, it is now.
Yeah, everybody knows.
Everyone knows this happened. Yeah, 20 years has passed, but
That's quite cool.
Yeah,
but it's a manager's like how they get the best out of players. You know,
That's amazing. Thinking outside the box.
Yeah.
You know, your boys need you. How do I get into that safe?
Exactly.
Great.
That guy was a thief. He was a good thief.
That's why he's one of the best.
Yeah, I mean, like, that's amazing, bro.
Yeah.
You know, going in a little thing and then sneaking in the team talk and you guys go out there and win.
Things he's prepared to sacrifice.
Yeah.
That's quite cool.
It's really cool.
Yeah, it's good.
I mean, obviously, league titles followed and all that at Chelsea, and you know, had an unbelievably successful career at Chelsea. You had the unfortunate, situation of the Champions League, which you just missed out on.
Yeah.
But I want to touch on England.
Champions League, was it Man United? Oh,
Yeah,
Man
with
United.
United.
Oh, mate.
Did you take a penalty?
No, I came off for Anelka.
Oh,
so that would have one that got missed.
That'd have been
was
you.
Me and my destiny to take. So it got to about, but up to that point, JJ, I was 28, right? Yeah. I'd never taken a penalty before in my life.
Really?
In professional football.
To be fair though, it happens.
I wasn't a penalty taker.
Yeah.
At West Ham, it was Di Canio. Yeah. You don't take him off them. Imagine at Chelsea, it was Frank.
Yeah, of course, you're not going to get it off them. Yeah.
With England, it was Beckham.
Yeah. I had a similar situation. Like Shearer,
so my first penalty would have been in the Champions League final to save us from. So anyway.
So God looked after you.
It looks like. Yeah. So anyway. 100. We're into extra time. We're like 100 minutes in. I don't know when I come off, but Avram Grant asked me, "Would you take a penalty?" There's no way you can't take it. As an attacking player, but I wouldn't have been able to look myself in the mirror if I'd have said no. Yeah. Oh, no, not me. So I went, I'll take one. But my eyes must have said something different.
I love that.
You were like, yeah, I'll have one. Yeah, no problem. So he's gone, I could see him, he said to no. And Nicholas Anelka, was one of the best strikers in Europe at the time, but he wasn't in our team at the moment. So Nicholas come on for me to take that penalty. So you often think about sliding doors moments, you know, synchronicity, I don't know.
Yeah.
But the Champions League is the one that missed out. I played 5 semi-finals, JJ, and a final.
Yeah.
I lost 3 times on penalties, you know, and you know how tight it is.
Yeah,
And
it
I
does start
firmly
telling him.
believe, and then I left Chelsea and they won it 2 years after. But I firmly believe we were good enough.
Definitely.
It just wasn't written in the stars
Wasn't meant to
for
be.
us and me to win it.
Yeah.
So, you know.
That was a good day for us, man.
Yeah, it was
he's
a
a
good
big
day.
United fan over
Do you know
here.
what was the? Do you know what was the thing that the mad thing about that day is I did not even realise it rained that day. It rained from the moment the game started to the end of the night,
And you didn't
and it
realise?
went into. I've never seen the game, but it popped up, and it was like torrential
Yeah, it's
rain,
mental.
torrential rain the whole day while Joe and Terry slipped. But I didn't realise it rained. That's how much your mind just wants to just go, put that one away there somewhere. Do you know what I mean?
It's funny that in football, isn't it? How much you delete.
Yeah.
from
Because
you.
actually, no, Ronaldo missed a penalty. That.
Ronaldo
he did.
missed the penalty, yeah.
Yeah.
You did, yeah.
And then it was
Good knowledge
and
there.
then-
Like it.
And then John Terry.
John Terry slipped
Yeah.
as he
Horrible
lifted
moment.
it. And I've never, ever seen...
JT do anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's technical, JT.
I've never seen
it
that.
surprised me.
Never seen that.
England.
Yes.
I mean, what were your thoughts on England? We was obviously in England, the England team, the same time throughout that whole period. And like, what's your overall, probably obviously disappointment, but like personally to you, like how did you feel in and around England?
Yeah, but we played together for England. Like, so you know, most of our squads would have been together.
Yeah.
So I personally felt, you know, there were certain players whose levels from when they played at their clubs dropped when they played for England, right?
Yeah.
Like, you know, listen, I'm very humble, but I don't think mine dropped from Chelsea with England. I always thought I performed to the same level, but I think we had a lot of players that for some reason the system weren't working for them.
Yeah.
So we weren't getting the best out of them. And I love Sven, bless him, like what a man, you know, he's
he
not
was.
with us no more. And genuinely one of the good guys in football.
Yeah, definitely.
But we just tactically we was behind JJ. Well, the amount of times we pulled an England shirt and you'd go and play someone, and it down to our culture as well and how we played football, and we would be getting popped about, and it would have been it was a tactical tweet, it wasn't a technical or a physical.
Andorra at times. You're like, why can't we get the ball off these guys? It was just mad, wasn't
Mate, and you're like, it would have taken a little bit of ingenuity from the coach.
Yeah, I agree.
And also a little bit of bravery as well, because what it would have needed was one of the big names to be left out.
100%.
Come out, because we don't need a chef, we need a cook.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Or
100%.
you know, but like when you say that, ultimately as well, you have to say we just wasn't good enough because we didn't have the whole round side of it. But I think I think the lads now are tactically better than what we was. I think the education of the tactics
Definitely,
and the way we've changed is better.
Yeah.
But I still think we still need a little bit of something more to win the tournament.
I disagree with you.
You don't?
In what way?
In the way that in the team you guys played in, who was in the team gone?
Lampard, Gerrard,
Yeah.
Beckham,
Yeah.
Rooney,
Yeah.
Ferdinand, Terry,
Yeah.
Ashley Cole,
Exactly.
Campbell.
Sol Campbell,
Exactly.
Gary Neville.
Jermaine
The
Jenas.
problem is nobody wanted to play. Because you guys were playing for the sake of playing, but you didn't have passion for playing for England. So when you say you needed somebody else, you didn't need somebody else, you needed yourselves in the way that... Because I used to watch you guys, I'm like, you're not playing the football you normally play every day.
That's kind of what he was saying.
Yeah, you're supposed to do it yourselves, you know, let's get on it and just play and win, you know.
I think looking at it from the outside, especially now.
That's what the fans' perspective of it is.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, and I
It was
think that's true,
just a purely a passion and a desire. Like we know the lads how competitive they are.
Yeah.
It wasn't passion or like not that they didn't want to play. It was like it was guidance. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Because Stephen Lamps, for example, right? Unbelievable footballers, and both performed for England.
Yeah.
But individually.
Yeah.
There wasn't like a collective of. It's a bit like what you were saying with West Ham when you were 21 years old. It was like individually they grabbed certain games by the scruff of the neck and would score goals.
Yeah.
But was what they were doing helpful to everybody else around them? And I'm not sure. When I used to watch a lot, and in particular those two, because that was my kind of area of the pitch, it just never worked. I didn't really get it.
Yeah, I remember once. I'm sure it was you. I think it was you or Kieran when you was both at Newcastle. Did you play for England when you was at Newcastle?
Yeah,
You did, didn't you?
Yeah,
It must have. It was both of you. It was in the game.
Yeah.
Right. So we was playing it. I started in the game. I can't even remember what game it is, but distinctly remember this thinking, we're 0-0, the game we should be winning. I'm playing well, right? And I'm one of the only ones playing well.
Yeah.
But you know, we get to half time. If you're not 1-0 up, it's like people start to get nervous, right? Then just before after, just after half time, I was literally about to get taken off, and it was like me and the other 3 midfield lads. One of us they wanted to change something, and it was me, but I was playing better than the other lads on that day. Yeah. And it was about to get taken off because they didn't want to take the other lads up. Then I scored. Then they went, all right, sit down. I think it might have been you or Kieran. Yeah. And then we went on to win the game 3 or 4-0, and everything was fine. But I would have been taken off because the manager wouldn't have made the right decision for what was on the pitch. You don't take off a player who's playing well. It's the easiest decision. Correct, yeah. Because if you drag one of the big hitters off and it don't work, it's on the manager. Yeah. But he said that to me. You was about to come off, and I was like, "What? I was playing well."
It was like that though.
It was like that, wasn't it? Yeah.
Before we get into the wins and the losses and everything, there's always one question I've always wanted to ask you. Go on. So obviously, I've seen you from a kid to kind of how you became as a professional footballer, and I wanted to know. I know you achieved what you wanted to achieve in the game. Yeah. Did you become the player that you wanted to become in the game?
That's a good question, JJ. Yeah. It's a good question, mate. I think, because I talk about it a lot in my book, because I go deep. You start thinking about,
it's like therapy, isn't it? Yeah.
It was. I felt, and I was considered it, and I think, right, okay, I won a load of trophies, played at World Cup, scored. People remember goals you scored and things like that. People loved watching me play. So I ticked a lot of the boxes. But then I also think there's part of me thinks if I'd have done things slightly different or stuck to my guns a little bit more, I would have gone on to another sliding doors, mate. Would have gone to that club instead of that club. But then again, JJ, we're all competitors, we're athletics. We all probably have a little bit of us when our head hits the pillow of a night, thinks, could have done that different. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So from a technical point of view?
Yeah. But the only reason why I say it is because obviously,
I heard you say this. I read your article in the Big Issue where I thought you was a couple of years ago, and you was quite honest about it. You was talking about, did you get to the heights you could have got to?
I know I didn't get to where I was supposed to get to in the game. I know that for a fact.
You know why though?
Here he goes.
Oh, God.
Let me tell you something.
Yeah, let me tell you something.
Go on.
You know why? Because you guys, when you were playing, you made it. You had your big house, you had your big cars, you went everywhere you wanted to go, and you were gods, you were emperors, and you forgot the hunger. You forgot the hunger.
Yeah, there can be a bit of that in there, definitely, if you're honest with yourself.
Yeah,
100%.
Because,
you get in a comfort zone.
You got in a comfort zone, and then you're like, you know what, I'm happy now.
But this is where people like Mourinho are gold. If you stumble across one of them in your career, they light you back up. Yeah. And they make you realise you ain't done anything.
Do you know what though, JJ, right? Yeah, I can see that happen with some players, right? I don't think it happened to me because my trajectory, right? When I done my knee at Chelsea, there's a real pivotal point. 2008, just after the Champions League final, I'd won Player of the Year at Chelsea. Yeah. I was flying. Scolari came in. Yeah. He was like, You're my guy. You're playing. So I'm thinking we're a whisker away from winning the Champions League and the league again. And if the penalty goes in, I'm there. I'm Player of the Year in that year. Like where I don't see where the mountain is above that. Right? So I'm like there. Yeah. I'm right there. And then 4 or 5 months later, I do my knee. I was never the same player after that. And I tried everything. I went osteopath, chiropractors,
everything.
The best physios. I travelled around the world. I tried absolutely everything, and my knee would never allow me to do the things that I'd done before. Like same with you, Jay. So there is something which is out of your hands.
Yeah, it gets taken away
at your time. But I have seen players, who lost the desire. But I can when I go to bed at night, it wasn't because I didn't want it. Do you know what I mean? I was always at it. I tried it. I loved it. I love football. I still play now.
The question came more from a place of, you a Gaza.
Yeah.
I watched you flick the ball over people's heads.
Yeah.
I've seen you twist people into knots and leave them on the deck and run away laughing. Like, I've watched you do some mad stuff. Yeah. I mean, Rio, what happened to him, boy? I mean, yeah.
What did you do to Rio?
Oh, he twisted Rio
I sent it back to Peckham and back.
He twisted Rio up bad one
Christ.
day. He twisted him up bad one day.
Was it that bad?
Oh, it was bad, yeah. And he scored off the back of it as well. It was like a boom, boom, see you later. Rio was like, he didn't know what was going on. Put it in the back of the net and he was off celebrating. Shorts were a bit high in the celebration, but, you know, it was nice. I think you made the right decision. When I look at it now and I look at other players, in terms of the adjustment you made to go and win stuff, because I look at like players like Wilfred Zaha, for example.
Yeah.
Big tricks, man. You know, like goes by people like they're not there.
Yeah.
But the minute he took kind of that step up, I know he was young and there was other like political factors, but there's just something at that level, unless you're like Ronaldinho or Messi or someone like that.
Then you're sent from the gods.
Correct, yeah. You're sent from the gods and everyone plays for you. Yeah. You probably would have ended up just coming back down the leagues eventually and just doing your tricks around the league and not won what you won. So I think you made the right decision. It was just interesting. We do know. Right, let's get into the wins.
No,
the loss.
sorry,
Oh, you got one. He always does this.
How many trophies have you won?
I won 3 Premier Leagues, 3 FA Cups, 2 League Cups, an Intertoto Cup. Heard of that, Del?
Take it. It's a pre-season European trophy that gets you into Europe.
It's so bad. When we won it, someone forgot the trophy.
Stop. No.
Honestly. So we're at West Ham. We win this trophy. We're going into Europe, and then like you can see that we're looking around and like there's nothing there.
No.
Someone's job was to go to take it to wherever it was, and it weren't there. Anyway, it's on my record, but I ain't got the medal.
You should phone them up and get it.
Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Like
I'll take you with me.
Like me, I won a belt, but I never got it.
Really?
Yeah, but it is what it is.
Did you?
Yeah. No.
But you won one.
I won one.
Okay.
But that's another thing, Del, right? Your name and your legacy will live long. All my mates love boxing. When I told them I'm coming to see you, and then they said, Derek Chisora, love him. He's on the love list. Like me and my pals, we have love list and fucking and hate list, right?
Let's say it.
Chisora, they're like,
love list.
Love him.
Yeah.
Absolutely love him, right? And I think that's across the board.
Yeah,
right?
it's amazing. I like
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's amazing.
And like,
but before that, motherfuckers hated me.
not my pals.
No, when I was starting, people, you know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. I had my first fight, and I was like, I need to sell. How do I sell? I don't want people to like me now. I want people to hate me.
Yeah.
When they hate you, they're gonna have to love you at one point.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
That's powerful.
Yeah.
It comes out with these jokes, man. I'm telling you, it's surprising.
They hated me. You don't understand. I'll get booed. Yeah. Oh, you're a disgrace to boxing. I'm like, what I'm trying to paint for you. You can't see it. It's a blank canvas right now. You're just seeing oil paint on it right now.
Yeah.
When you start seeing the full canvas, you start understanding me.
Yeah.
Because before, people never understood me because I was African. They didn't understand me.
Yeah.
You know. And then suddenly they've got to realize, hold on, this kid is right. He likes to fight and he likes to entertain.
Yeah.
So now, what's there?
Yeah.
From the booze became cheers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
That's why we're going to Spurs or Wembley for your next fight, brother.
Yeah.
Selling it out.
Are you coming?
Joey's coming. Joey's there.
I'll be the spit bucket.
Joe.
So let's get into this, the wins, the losses, the lessons, and the legacy of Joe Cole. Tell me your wins in life.
Wins in life. Oh, JJ's deep. Like on the pitch, it's like winning the title for the first time was the only time I got emotional on the pitch. Yeah. Because I used to support Chelsea, and we won it in Bolton. Do you remember?
Yeah, I remember. Yeah, Lamp scored
away
two,
from home.
Yeah.
But then we couldn't celebrate properly. But we had a little setup because we had a Champions League game against Liverpool that Tuesday night. So we were going to get the trophy on the Saturday against Charlton. So all week we're leading up to the game against Charlton. We've already won the title, but we haven't lifted the trophy. So you'd think all the emotions were like out of me by the game. So we played the game. We won the game 1-0. And then when the final whistle went, I just like, I had to like, I don't know, like I didn't want to see people. I got all teary because I remembered where I used to sit as a kid. Do you know what I mean? And try and get the players' autographs. I think it must have been that on top of, and I didn't like crying on the picture after. You know, like some of the lads would cry afterwards, and I didn't want to. So I put my head down, and it took me about a little minute, or just I didn't want to see people. Got really emotional, and which I found quite strange. So that's on the pitch.
Nice.
Was that my wins off the pitch, apart from my undefeated boxing record.
Fuck yeah.
Mate, one and done.
Yeah, I love
it. Geez, you know what it is, right? Like me and I'd probably say all my kids and the missus, like we're still going strong. You know what I mean? Like
nice,
I've got 3 beautiful kids. You know, marriage, you have ups and downs, but you know, like I'm glad I'm glad I found her. Do you know what I mean? I couldn't have done it without her. So, you know, not she played any games for me, but she, you know,
been there from day one.
Like it's good. Like just my wins are watching my kids grow up into the people they become. Yeah, I know that might be boring.
No, it's not.
But that's the most.
Are they all girls or you got?
I have a little girl who's 15 and 2 boys 12 and 9. So
tell me, I'm gonna have to call you for advice on the 15-year-old because my daughter is getting to that stage of just being like, you know, makeup. I'm like, sweetheart, you don't need makeup. You're beautiful as you are right now. You know, you don't need to wear this. You're fine.
How old is she, Del?
She's 11. She's turning 11.
Getting into that age.
Yeah, she's getting into that age.
Yeah.
So the losses, Joe.
Losses, mate. Good question. I mean, listen, I've been blessed. The losses, I've found retirement quite tricky, right? I found it quite. I found retirement. Look, and I didn't even realise I was finding it tricky. Remember, because I went straight to work with the football because I wanted to keep myself busy. I did a bit of coaching, mate. So within 3 years of retiring, I'd crossed the channel on a kayak for charity.
Wow.
I rode the bike to Amsterdam for charity. I'd done the boxing match. I'd climbed Mont Blanc with Bridgie. So I was trying to find something to replace it. So I've been retired 6 years. I've only started to get to terms with it the last year or two. I found it. But the biggest loss for me is like losing my dad. That was
oh, sorry to hear that, bro.
Yeah, that was tough because we was really tight, we were tight and you know, complete like different. Like he was you know when you got like when you think somebody's never always going to be there and then they're not there and it was just taking that sort of that out of my life. That was tough.
Who did he support again?
Mate, didn't like football.
Did he? Yeah, that was it. I knew there was something around.
Yeah. So my dad was we come from a family of market traders in Camden Market and all that. And we used to have, you know, that's Inverness Street and all over the place. So, but he never liked football, which was actually a blessing for me, JJ, right?
No pressure.
Because I didn't play for a team until I was 12, right? Yeah. So my dad was, everyone was going to him like, George, you know your dad, your boy, he's a good footballer, you should take him to the team. He's like, he's all right, he's playing football outside. Like he didn't know. So when I started playing and then like you get scouts knocking on the door, and then all of a sudden you become this like thing where they all want you, and they're offering money for you, right? They're like, and my dad, like we didn't have much, you know, so, and they were offering money to my dad for me to go to this club or that club or that club, and he always stood strong. He went, "What? Don't ever ask me to sell my boy again. He'll go and play where he's playing." Like he had a man of principles, although he was a ducker and diver as well. So he's a big part of my life. So losing him, it was tough. You know what I mean? Because he's too young, 60, 62, 63, too young. Yeah.
How long ago was that?
Yeah.
How long ago was that?
That whole
7 years. 7 years. Yeah.
That whole lifestyle of market trading is kind of dying down. That was, you know, I used to go. You remember Wembley? Do you remember Wembley?
Yeah.
You know, I used to buy all my clothes at Wembley.
Did you?
Market, yeah. You know where all those flats are? Yeah. That used to be a sick market, bro. If you wanted something like some fake trainers. if you're going out and you didn't have the peas at a young age, go pick up a pair of trainers for like £3.
Two-stripe.
Bit of CK2 afterwards.
Yeah, and then you rock you up there, you rock the trainers, and then after 2 hours, the string will pop up and the heel will drop out. But you're cool.
It's sad that, innit? That is dying out.
Yeah.
Mate, it was good times, bro.
Mate, I used to love it. I used to work as a kid because when I was really young, like 8, 9, 10, before I was playing football on a Saturday and Sunday, my mum was working on a stall. So they had to take me with them because there was 3 of us and my nan and granddad couldn't look after us. So I'd be like 8 or 9, 10 on the stall all day I'd be trying to, selling things. Had the little bunny belt on.
Yeah,
mate, I loved it.
That is amazing.
I had some...
must get a lot of your chat from there as well.
Mate,
like.
someone would say that. Someone would say that, mate.
Give to the gab.
Yeah. I remember we had a stall in Burnt. We had a stall in Burnt Oak, right? And I was about 10 or 11. So I used to get the teas or something. And I must have been driving them mad, like getting bored. So they went, on the side of the stall, because it wrapped round a corner, on this side, you were selling like the melons and things that didn't need weighing. It would be like 2 for £1 or whatever they were. So it was just metrics. I didn't have to weigh anything. So he went, you just like give me the money belt to sell the fruit, right? And I'm like, mate, I felt so rich. There's so much money on me, right? Yeah. Like, and I'm selling them, right? And I got into it and I was buzzing, like, and I thought, I've got to sell these. And they're getting to all the manky melons and all that. And they're like, I want to sell them all. Like, that was my goal at the end of the day. So I'm saying to Dad, like, can I reduce the prices just to get rid of these melons? And he's thinking, he knows what I'm like because I'm competitive. If I don't sell these melons, I'm going to be raging. Like, I'll go home with the So what he does, him and my mum, this is what parenting, they play a trick on me. They get one of the customers who they know to pretend to steal the melons to see what I do.
No way.
Mate, and she's looking at me, this woman, she's told the melons and she's gone, I'm like, I was a kid going, Dad, God, help. And I look around the corner and them just laughing at me. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, set you
so
up.
I have wicked memories of on the market stall.
Amazing.
It was, wicked.
Do you think like a lot of those experiences, because you're in business now, aren't you, as well? Yeah. Do you think that just kind of stuck with you, like post-football going into, because you've got you're involved in some restaurants, aren't you, in London?
Yeah, I work with Tom Sellers in his restaurants. I've got do property things, we've got a few other things, but I think what the market does for you, JJ, and being around places where we grew up and that, I think, listen, I know nothing about business. I mean, but I think I know people. Yeah. And I get like an idea of, do you know what I mean? I think it's helped me with that, a sense of what's good and what's right. And I've done well. Like a lot of players who we've played with have lost a lot of money in their career, and I've done all right. Do you know what I mean? I've kept hold of it and managed to do that, and that was from my dad.
Brilliant.
Yeah, no, he's a wrong un. Don't go with him. Yeah, says that. And you see him in football. It's sad there, honestly. As soon as young players get money, people get round them. Then all of a sudden, if you could just see it, it'd be like, this one's taking this from him, this one's taking that from him. The footballer's paying twice as much as he needs for car insurance, and it all adds up. And these people around the players, like they're like leeches, isn't they?
Yeah, they are.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I kept my circle small, and I did all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, we love it, mate. We love it.
Yeah, keeping your circle small is very
Definitely.
good.
Yeah.
What about the lessons you've learned?
Lessons you've learned. Lessons I've learned, probably, I think intuition. Intuition is something now that I'd always listen to it. Sometimes I hadn't, but it's,
Even though I know I
should,
it, but you just ignored it.
There's so much in the world at the moment that to act like this, be like that, act like that. To anybody, you listen to your conscience. Always listen to your conscience. That would tell you if you've got, whatever you do in the world. I think I've always been good at it, but nowadays, any decision I make going forward in my life, or whether it be with my family, business, or whatever I do, if I'm unsure, examine your conscience, intuition, and go with that.
That's a good one. That's a really good one.
It's amazing.
And what about the legacy of Joe Cole? What would you like people to think? Or whatever.
Good question. Oh God. It's nice. Do you know what's? I've never really appreciated it, but like so many people enjoyed watching me play.
Yeah.
Like, I don't get if you walked into my house, you wouldn't know I played football. There's nothing up. There's no
my house
pictures
is
of
like
me.
that, really,
Do you know what I mean?
right.
Right?
What's in my house then?
Your one trophy.
My Young Player of the Year one. Of course. Yeah.
No,
It's
joking,
a decent
joking.
trophy to have. On, you know?
Yeah.
You know why he's like because he never won anything.
I did.
No. I want to no. Listen. But like, I don't judge people for doing that, right? Because I never, for something inside me that couldn't allow myself to be proud of lifting trophies or pictures of me playing, right? I don't know what is inside of me that stops me being proud of that. I don't know what it is, so I put it all away. But what I do love is when, and I'm allowing myself to start enjoying it, because when people come up to me and you can tell that they love the way you played football, and they go, do you know what I mean? And it comes at random times. You'll be walking down the street. That's a gift.
It's a
Do you know what I
moment,
mean?
isn't it?
That's a gift.
Yeah,
like,
that's good.
that's a
Moments you
gift.
give people in sport.
Yeah.
Like, you underestimate them.
Yeah.
Everybody remembers where they were
Yeah.
when you did something in your career. And
Yeah.
for that to live forever is like,
Yeah, mate.
it's a big gift.
Yeah, so
Man,
that's...
you used to score some serious goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get his belly out.
Yeah,
that was
the
it.
belly.
Really?
Listen, can I tell you something quickly about JJ, right?
God.
Right, no, right. You know he's slim,
Yeah.
proper slim.
Yeah.
Right, we used to have a snack station at England, right? We played together for England for maybe 6-7 years.
Yeah.
I never once went to the snack station without him eating something. It was like, where's JJ? No, but if you didn't have a phone, he'd be at the snack station.
I like my food, bro.
Never put weight
He only
on.
comes to my house.
Yeah, feed me,
Yeah,
man.
exactly.
You know why I go to his house? Because he's sponsored by Five Guys. I can see.
Got the
Here
socks
we
on.
go. You know what? We're about to. That's been amazing, Joe. By the way,
Yeah.
we're about to get into.
I've loved it. I've loved
Good.
it.
We're about to get
Genuinely.
into. No, go on. Sorry. Yeah.
No, genuinely, I've loved it, man. I love
You
having
thought
the chat.
we're gonna go nuts on you, do you? No, we're not like that.
Honestly, you've been.
We'd just like to have
it's
a
been really
chat.
enjoyable to chat to you, mate. About to move on to Derek's favourite part of the show.
Okay.
The dilemmas. Natalie, what you got for us?
Right,
mate?
come on. These are apologies now, Joe. Feel like they're
He's cool, man.
gonna get pretty rough.
Get a drink.
Right,
Yeah.
first one is
You'd have the rum.
yeah, take a big gulp of that. Right, I wanted to surprise my wife with a romantic, cheeky date night. So when I was at work that morning, I thought I'd kick things off by sending her a naughty text, letting her know exactly what I was planning to do with her later.
Right.
After about 15 minutes, I hadn't heard back and I thought it was a bit strange. So I checked it and I'd realised I'd actually sent it to her mum.
Oh, well, wow.
What do? I don't feel like I can ever see her mum when I've explained the kind of things I do to her daughter.
Ooh, let it ride, man. See what happens now,
Yeah.
Look at Derek's face. Is disgusted.
Derek, how would your mother-in-law take that? No, not like that.
To be honest with you, my wife tells me what they speak about her and her mother-in-law, my mother-in-law.
You do what? She tells you what to speak about.
No, my wife and her mother speak.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, they speak.
Yeah, don't underestimate that. What women
you know,
talk
yeah,
about.
they
Yeah,
speak
yeah. I
and they
get you.
speak deep inside,
yeah.
like you
Oh,
know,
really?
Yeah, like you girls are sexual driven because like you like your mother, you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so you know what? There's nothing wrong with that because she's a woman, you know. So if it's a mistake, it's a mistake. She must be happy for her daughter. So you know what? You're gonna get it tonight.
I don't know. If my mum, I couldn't.
No. It's a good thing. You know, people are trying to make it like there's boundaries. There's no boundaries when it comes to sex.
What about if you didn't have that kind of relationship with the mother-in-law,
Yeah.
though? Because some people in couples don't. It's like,
Yeah.
you know, some mother-in-laws might be a bit more strict, and your relationship with them, there might be a bit more friction. Would you still feel the same?
Yeah, I feel the same because if you didn't like your mother-in-law, she didn't like you. After she sees that text, you're like, you know what? He's doing good by my daughter. I like that.
I love the open it. What do you think, Dave?
What do I think? All right,
What would your
I
mother-in-law
don't know how I
think?
can top Derek there. I think it depends on it depends on the relationship
Yeah.
with the mother-in-law.
If she's
You've
up for
got to
laugh.
go, you've got to front it. I think you've got to go because you can't just leave it out there.
Yeah,
Nah.
don't delete
You've
it.
got to front it,
Yeah.
and then it's because then it's like
Yeah, imagine that.
Don't
do you know
delete
what I mean?
it.
You got to go. I think you got to go on the front foot. And God, listen, because you're married at the end of the day. Like, what does she think you do? It's not, you know,
High-fiving all
you know. So yeah, you got to just front it and just go, you know, yeah. Listen, we're having.
Why? Why you have to front it though?
No, but
I mean, like,
because
she's a grown ass woman.
Yeah, but if
I'm
you
a
don't
grown
speak
ass
about
man. Just say, listen, I apologize for that text, but you know what? I was meant to be for your daughter.
Yeah.
But
If
I
you're up for it.
hope Jonathan sends you the same text message.
Yeah.
I think that's perfect. I
think
I think he's nailed it.
Yeah. If she's got a good sense of humour as well, she'll
Well,
just
yeah,
be
because when
like,
you actually deep it and break it down, it's not that bad.
Yeah, exactly, babe.
You know what? I might try
depends
that.
what you're saying.
No, it's not. I don't like at the end of the day. If you've sent it
Might
to your
try that.
mother-in-law
So
and you did
that-
it by mistake and it's for her daughter, it's not that bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's a great answer.
Now imagine
Here we go.
Oh, okay.
if it's your son-in-law who sent that shit to you.
Oh, for fuck.
Yeah, what if it went to the dad
Yeah, no.
That's the thing, mate.
with your daughter? My dad would kill me.
I'm saying, Derek, we got to go somewhere, bro.
Yeah.
Have you seen Bad Boys?
Yeah.
I'll be like, Jermaine, hold their legs. I'll carry their head.
That is actually a good point. If your daughters, if you heard what someone was doing to your daughter, that's crazy.
Yeah, someone's got to die.
But
Someone's
you
gotta
know
go.
what, yeah.
Someone
Someone's gotta
would
die.
go missing.
Someone's
No,
got to leave
but
the planet.
nobody's gonna die, to be honest with you, because I can imagine this. Yeah,
Someone's gonna die.
I'm like, for me,
Oh, Derek.
here's a question for you. Yeah, and even for you.
Yeah, go.
Can you imagine your daughter's bringing someone like me at home and say, "Daddy, this is my boyfriend"?
Yeah, you're not coming in. Nah.
Now imagine my father-in-law when he saw me.
Rhinestone cowboy.
It's not happening, man.
Mate,
In a cowboy hat.
you know what, right? The thing, that's a thing, right? Because your job as a man for your
Yeah.
daughter is to protect her, right?
And then she brings a
Now,
fella.
there's people like Del in the world who, like, in all will, you know, I'd need some artillery behind me to do something to
Yeah,
this man.
100%.
Right?
I'm
But
bringing
that's still your job
immigration,
as a man. Like, I'd have to go. Like, if you were together, you're dating, and it's looking like at one point you got to have the conversation to let them know where the land is.
Of course.
And I just have to have I'd have a panic button here. I'd have a team of boys outside.
You have a nappy on.
Like, SEALs, Navy SEALs. And I'd just say, listen, as long as you don't ever hurt my daughter,
Oh, God.
we're cool.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
And there's three men
And
that
there's
have
three
had that
men.
experience that
Yeah.
you're talking about when we walk through the door.
Yes, I know.
Those poor guys.
I
man.
think that's it. As long as you don't physically hurt my daughter,
Yeah. Yeah. We're all good guys.
we're all good guys.
That's it, yeah.
I
That's
don't
it.
know, man.
What do
Derek
you mean
could
you
probably
don't
say
know?
it back.
You're gonna have to make peace of it at some point.
Derek, how would you feel if they brought you home?
If my daughter
If you would
brings
have brought
somebody
someone
like,
like you home?
yeah, I'm like, that's cool. I'll be cool with him. I won't even be anything.
Yeah, but you're an imposing man.
No, I'll be
Yeah.
cool with him. And then afterwards, when he goes home, I'll go home with him. I'll follow him.
We're going home.
Then I will sit down
Let's
with
go back
him
to
when
yours.
this is me and him. And I say, listen, bro,
Whoa.
I like you. Fine. She's happy. God forbid she comes home crying one day. You're in trouble. That is it. Then you can come to the house every day, anytime you want. We're gonna have lunch, we can hang out. But your job is to make sure she's not gonna cry.
Yeah.
She can cry by you having an argument, by you crying by her after you put your hands on her or anything like that. That's a problem.
You know, it's funny. The other day when
Yeah, I think any man's got to do that.
of course.
Regardless of whether you can have a fight or anything like that, that's your job.
Yeah,
Yep.
I respect it. The other day, everyone was at the fight, and afterwards, was in Connor's dressing room, and my daughter, who lives in America, it was her prom night. So she's FaceTiming me, and she's like, "Dad, I just want you to see my dress and what I'm wearing." And I was like, oh, "Okay, yeah, go on then." So she shows me a dress, and then obviously she's got
A fella.
a fella, basically, I don't know what they call him, but yeah, she's got a fella who she's going to prom with. And I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right, yeah, everything all right?" And she's like, "Yeah, Dad, or whatever." And I said, "Oh, I've got someone who wants to speak to you."
Oh.
I went, "Del, come here." Anyway, Del comes over and he's like, "Oh, hey, you look beautiful, you look amazing." And then he saw the guy and he went, "You know the rules."
It's got to be
Like,
rules.
Perfect.
I think guys respect it when a dad says it to them.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
a good man.
Yeah,
you,
yeah, yeah.
you respect a dad telling you what's what.
Absolutely.
Not following you home, but I think you
Absolutely.
do.
Yeah, none of that. What else we got?
Mate.
Right, let's do it. Okay, this is going to go a bit more
Wow.
sexual. Sorry for that.
Jermaine likes those.
Yeah, I listen.
Yeah, it's up Jermaine Street. My boyfriend is really keen for us to try a threesome. with another woman. He said we can pick her together and only do it if I'm happy, but I don't want to see him with another woman as I'm too jealous. How do we compromise on this? And does it mean he's not satisfied with just me anymore?
Can I start with this one?
You better.
Don't do it.
Don't
do
do
not
it.
do it. Don't do it. Like,
So serious.
nah,
sorry.
because, and this is the woman talking here, no? This is the woman talking. This is the woman talking.
Yes,
She's
it's
trying to
the-
please her
yeah,
boyfriend because he wants a
suggested it.
threesome.
He's up for it.
Yeah.
He suggested it, or she
He
suggested it?
suggested it.
I think
He
it's a
said
mad
she
move.
can help pick the woman.
You know what? When it comes to like, you know, sex, you know, this is a topic. I think obviously if you're just in a couple and you've got wild experiences that you want to have and you do them together,
Yeah.
that's a different conversation. I think if you're bringing a separate entity into it, she needs to have a look at the person she's with, I would say, in terms of the longevity of their own relationship. And then also on top of that, like, just understand it's going to fuck shit up.
Oh, God, yeah.
That you don't come back from that. I don't care what, because she's going to see things
Yeah.
her fella is doing to this person and experience probably like his emotions and feelings towards that
God.
person that you can't take back. So my advice would be do not do it and don't allow it at that
Yeah,
particular
because if
point.
he looks too happy at any point in that moment,
Just think you've got to lay down the law sometimes, you know
Someone's
what I mean?
gonna die.
Just kind of, I think it's fair for the fella to ask the question, and I think fair play to him. He's put it on the table, but if she's not happy with it, don't do it just to please him. No.
But does that mean she's saying, is he unsatisfied with just her now? That's going to play on her mind.
I don't think so. I think men, when it comes to kind of like sex, just like where's the end? Do you know what I mean? I think like we are in a world now where everything, like you go on Instagram and you can't not see an arse on Instagram these days. It's just everything's in front of you. And I think men sometimes, yeah, it's easy just to be constantly looking ahead and wanting more and more and more.
Yes.
He needs to just be happy, innit? Like with what he's got in front of him. And if that's not making him happy anymore, then they need to separate.
I think the same as well. That's never going to end well.
Not in a million years.
It's never going to end well. Yeah.
Derek, what are you thinking?
Nah, I got the opposite.
Love it. So what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, why not?
What?
Why not?
If you're
Okay,
the
yeah.
woman, you're thinking,
What? No, I'm not a woman. I'm a man.
yeah, I know, but it's the woman that's talking.
No, I'm not a woman. I'm a man.
I know that.
Yeah, okay, get it right. Listen, we are put on this earth to love
Yeah.
and to bear kids. Do you understand?
As men.
No. If I want to have a threesome, yeah, I would tell my wife I want to have a threesome and I want you involved in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be mad if she wasn't
Yeah.
involved.
Even if she doesn't want to be.
Two other women.
Even if she doesn't want to be
If you
involved.
want to be in it, I'll get somebody else in. And I won't tell her.
It's one way to ruin it. What, you're like, are you in or out, by the way? I'm going to have a
You're
threesome.
in or out. That's it. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, who don't want to have a threesome?
Okay, would you do it with another guy involved?
Huh? Would I do it with another guy involved?
Like one woman, two guys.
What am I going to be doing there? Sitting there jerking off?
What?
I'm not
I
gay.
mean, what if her fantasy was two guys?
Huh?
What if a lot of your wife's fantasy was two guys, threesome?
She can go and do her thing by herself.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Very liberal.
Very liberal.
No, because you have to understand,
Yeah.
this whole thing of marriage and death do us apart only started a couple of 100 years ago. But before that, it was like a free world out there. Do you understand? It was a free world. Hey, what's your name? Jack? Oh, do you want to? Oh, yeah, why not? Let's have dinner, you know?
This is the African in you, bro.
No.
You like have like 3-4 wives and all that. And
Yeah, bro.
It is. It's
I'm
true.
telling you, man. It's only when I came to United Kingdom, I realized you have to have one partner. But in other countries, you're not allowed. You can have many partners as you want. My granddad had 8 wives. Don't you understand?
Really?
Wives.
And he had
Yeah.
36 kids.
36.
8
Yeah.
wives, one after the other. Like,
No, together at the same time.
Two of them were sisters.
what religion?
Just Christian, bro. Yeah.
Well,
That's just that. There's not even enough days in the week, like for real.
Yeah, yeah.
It's created the 8th day, like.
I'm telling you, bro.
mad.
One out to get, yeah. Do it.
Listen. If I want to have a threesome, I'll speak to my wife. Say I want to have a threesome. Yeah. If she says no, I don't want to be part of that. I'm like, fine, cool. And I'll have a threesome somewhere else where she don't know I'm having a threesome.
Can I ask you though, like, just to add some balance to that, because obviously that only applies to men.
If she wants to have a threesome, she can.
No. In terms of like women having 8 husbands. One woman having 8 husbands doesn't happen, does it?
And none of them would listen.
No, it don't happen.
No. So it's a male-driven thing in that society, is what I'm saying. It's not for women. It's almost for the use of women.
Yeah, it's like lions, isn't it? Getting all the lionesses pregnant and all that.
Yeah, essentially. And I understand it's the culture and it's the way it is, but women don't have the same privilege.
When I started dating my wife, I told her, listen, I'm a lion. But she don't understand what a lion is. She didn't understand. And I told her, listen, I can have lionesses around me, but I don't want any other men around me.
Yeah.
Do you understand? You've been to my house. How many women are always around in my house?
Yeah, I've been around here a lot recently, to be fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot going on around
Because
here.
I just like women around me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
No, you do. That's fair. Have you said anything yet, Judd? I think you're trying to swerve this one. I think you're trying to swerve this one. I agree with both of you guys. You're trying to swerve this one,
Calling Joe?
Yeah.
What are you thinking, Joe?
What was the... Do you remember the question?
the three
Yeah.
No, I said the same as you.
Oh, he
Yeah.
did.
Yeah.
I think it's just like, you know.
Love it.
Yeah.
It's good. It's
gonna ruin
good. Right,
things.
last one?
Yeah.
Do another one more?
Last one.
Right, my biggest turn-off in men is if they have dirty nails or bad hygiene.
Fucking, I got
What are your
both.
turn-offs in women?
I got both.
What my...
I got both.
You've got both.
I got both. Bad nails, bad hygiene. I got both.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a mad admission.
But-
That is a mad... What do you mean? What, you don't
But
shower?
I get girl. I get chicks. Don't deny me on that. I like to look like bad hygiene. I don't dress well. I like that look.
That's your style.
I don't
though.
think
That's
you've
not bad
never-
hygiene.
you've never
That's a
had BO.
style.
My nails are a bit dirty, but because I
Derek,
do
you've
got
never come in the studio with BO or anything.
Yeah, I don't
You've
think
got
I've
bad
sat in a
hygiene.
smart car with you, bro. We're tight, and I don't think you've ever smelt.
I've seen that picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's
to that.
yeah, we roll around in a smart car. It's jokes, yeah, but yeah, I wouldn't say hygiene is a I mean that's standard.
Are we
now.
talking about BO or what?
Well, any type of
Yeah.
hygiene, like she's saying bad breath, smelly, like anything that's just, it's a big turn off if their hygiene's not on point.
I think men
Is-
are. I
is-
think
is
men
it
are-
from
I
a-
think
is it-
men are overly groomed now. I
Yeah.
do think
Oh,
that.
is it?
I do think that.
You were
Yeah.
talking about getting a hair transplant.
No.
bro.
Don't try to put words in
Do you
my
know?
mouth.
Yeah.
I think men are overly groomed. I think there's too much of like. I feel like this is how I think women must have felt for 20 years. You
Yeah,
know, for
but yeah.
longer that like women feel like they have to compete and look a certain way. I feel like the modern man now feels like that. Do you know what I mean? Like I've got to have my hair, I've got to have my teeth,
You're
I've
right,
got
you're
muscles.
right.
Like I go around my mum's house and see my sister and her son, and he's 18 now. He goes to the gym and he's like muscles and like all for aesthetics. And all of his mates are the same. They're like these little muscle men walking around the gaff.
Yeah.
And I think men are like men.
Yeah.
Like if someone walked down Queen's Crescent or Kentish Town and they had muscles, people go,
He's going
"What's
on
this
here.
guy doing?
Yeah,
What's
yeah.
this guy doing?"
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I think there's a lot of. I think men are overly groomed and worry too much about how they look now.
Like, when you go to that beef in the summer, everyone
You're
looks the same.
right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. It's
It's not
like
nice though.
it's. I mean, like it's like Jermaine. He's overgroomed
How am I ever groomed?
Loves a groom.
because Jermaine.
I can't grow a beard.
No, you can't grow a beard. Yeah.
You are.
But
you
I have
are
hair.
immaculate.
Yeah, but
What do you want me to do?
But
No,
you
you
get
always-
a haircut every 3 days. You got a facial. You do your nails.
I do not
you-
do it. I have not got a
let
Yeah.
me finish. You do a facial. You like a chick. Yeah, you like a girl. Yeah.
It's just blatant lies. When have you ever seen or heard
a
about
Manny
me
and a
getting
penny.
a facial? Never, right? When you say you do your nails, yes, I cut my nails, Del, when they grow long. I cut
Thank
them.
God.
No,
I've
you
never
don't
had-
cut your nails yourself, Jermaine.
Yes, I fucking do. I've
Get a
never had a
pedicure to your house.
fucking liar. You're a liar. You're a liar. You know what? You like all this stuff. Don't give me that, all right? You're
Bro.
more into that side of things than me, bro. You just don't get a
I'm a
trim.
man, bro. I'm a real man, bro. I don't care how I look, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This
but-
is why I don't shave my beard. This is why I don't care about my hair.
Yeah, because if
I'm
I
a
was
dude.
you, you're worried it won't grow back.
No, because
That's why you don't
no,
cut
I
it.
shave when I'm fighting, but I'm a dude. When I eat,
Yeah.
I drop ketchup on my t-shirt. I don't really care. It don't
Yeah,
bother
Derek's
me.
very much himself.
I'm getting like abused
mean,
here for not being able to grow a beard.
No,
I can't grow a beard, so what?
Why don't
I
you
can't grow a
stick
beard,
one
bro.
on?
3 days.
Jermaine,
I
why-
get a little
yeah.
something here. that's about it.
Basically, there's no more
Yeah.
men out there because everybody wants to groom themselves
Yeah.
Yeah.
to be this Mr. Perfect guy.
Yeah, you see him on
Is that
on
social
all the
media that's done that?
sorry?
Is that social media?
Absolutely.
believe it?
I
Everyone
mean-
looking at themselves.
Yeah, I mean anything above getting an haircut is all right. I think.
Yeah.
Bit of moisturiser, bit of moisturiser. Whenever
Yeah.
you want, like, listen.
Defo moisturiser.
Moisturiser's all right because
Yeah.
The brothers need the moisturiser.
yeah,
Bro, I'm
yeah.
telling you, the
No, but
dryness
otherwise,
is...
listen, I get dry face, right? I don't like being like that. So
yeah.
a moisturiser and a haircut and brush your teeth. Anything else above
Bit of
that?
deodorant.
What about the fellas
Like, mate,
getting their eyebrows done?
Nah, come on, man.
Not on board with that either.
Come
yeah.
on, mate.
Are these done?
Yeah.
Look done to me.
Yeah.
What?
Zoom in on them eyebrows.
Zoom
Yeah.
on these brows. These are
Jermaine's
not done.
never
They
had a
look
fine
down.
blush
I got
hand.
random long ones in there. Do you know what I mean? These are not done.
You're
Don't give me
such a
that
liar.
shit, honestly.
Do you know what? Do you know what I heard something the other day, by the way? Mad fact.
To be fair, when I was rocking L'Oreal, I had to keep it on board. I had to keep it, I had to do what I was doing, bro.
Looks after
you
himself.
grin and
Looks
bank
after
it?
Yeah, grin and bank it like Joe
Yeah.
says. You know what I
You have
mean?
to get a manny and a penny every now and then, leave him alone.
L'Oreal
I heard a
campaign
mad
scheme.
fact the
What
other
do you
day
think this is?
that women at a certain time in their month, it's a bit mad and scientific, a certain time in their month
I've heard- I know what you're gonna say.
go for more rugged, when they're ovulating, they go for rugged, rough and ready men. And when they're not, they go for clean cut men.
Did they?
And then women on a pill and off a pill choose different types of
Yeah,
men.
I've heard that.
You lot are complicated, innit, man?
Well, I
That's
just think
mad.
yeah.
It's messing with your
Not
hormones because
complicated.
naturally, women, like, you're gonna get into like they want a man to be
A man. Yeah, yeah.
and then men are told to go and they get your eyebrows done, your
they get more
teeth done,
feminine.
your barnet done. Really smart, worrying about what they're wearing all the time. So, but really and truly, women want a man if they're to be a man, like, and a man isn't
yeah.
that groomed.
No.
Am I being a dinosaur?
No,
I
if
don't know.
you-
Like,
no,
I
if
just
I think you are. No, I get it.
And I think if it's caveman, that's what women desire. They're looking for a masculine man, aren't they? So yeah.
it's me sitting like this.
Yeah. You suddenly got more manly, Joe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, someone who,
That's it.
We done?
Yeah, that was our last one today.
Oh man, listen, Joe, that has been special, brother. Thank you so much for coming on. I think Derek
Always,
would
man,
absolutely
always.
agree. That was an
Del-
enjoyable
You, my brother.
What a
episode,
legend.
man. Loved it. Everyone at home, please go and follow us on Instagram, LMTYS official on Instagram. Wherever you get your podcasts, make sure you go and like and subscribe, and also the same on YouTube, please. And we'll see you again next week.